Hi there, my name is Ryan Van Duzer. Duzer. People call me Duzer, but that's not important. I heard that you guys want to hear some crazy travel stories. And it just so happens that I have a few crazy travel stories.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Tons of them. But I'm just going to give you one, alright? Does that sound good? Thank you. Anyway, so I spent 2 years in the Peace Corps in Honduras, which was great. And I thought, you know what I want to do? Instead of flying home in an airplane, boring, I'm going to get on my bicycle and ride my bike home. So, Honduras to Colorado. So it's kind of like, no big deal, 4,000 miles. Pedal, pedal, pedal. So that was awesome. But here's the story I want to tell you about. So there I was, camping in a rainforest in Belize. It was all serene and quiet and beautiful. And then I got stung by a couple mosquitoes on my arm right here. Boink! 2 mosquitoes. Which is no big deal because I'm used to getting millions of mosquito bites after living in Central America for 2 years. Anyway, so I get these mosquito bites. Next morning, I'm like, wow, those are pretty big mosquito bites. And they're like right here, 2 of them right there, like fang marks. And these mosquito bites kind of like stayed with me for a while. And I was like, wow, these mosquito bites aren't going away. That's kind of weird. But then a month later, there I am in Mexico on the bike ride. I've ridden about 1,500 miles by now. And I'm sitting on a dock enjoying a nice sunset.
Ah, so pretty.
And I look down at my arm. And I look at the mosquito bites and I'm like, oh no, man, oh no. There was a little worm coming out of the mosquito bite, like, remember Alien? It was like that, but it didn't scream. But these little guys right there, these little maggot-like worm things, were sticking their heads out of these bites.
We don't know what that is, but we're gonna pull on it. Oh God, this is gross.
Remember that video game Whack-A-Mole where you go, and they keep coming up and you keep whacking at them?
Heave-ho, hi-ho, coming down the plains.
I was trying to like get them and pull them out, and every time I got near it, they'd suck into my arm. I was like, okay, this isn't good. I shouldn't be having worms in my arm. So I ran back to the hostel, tell all my friends, and I was like, there's mosquito worms, that's gross. And everybody freaked out at the whole hostel. It caused alarm. Everybody was like, oh, did you see that American guy with the worms in his arms? We put our minds together. We're like, how can we get rid of the worms in Ryan's arm? And so we thought, okay, we'll pour alcohol on him. Travelers always have lots of alcohol. So we tried pouring tequila on him, and that didn't kill him. And I tried to burn them out with some hot tweezers. That didn't work. And then I went on the internet and tried to figure out what they were. I was like, why do I have worms on my arms? Figured out that they're called bot flies. Totally gross. They live in your arm for like 2 months. And it said on the internet that maybe if you duct tape a piece of raw meat on your arm overnight, it will go from your mosquito bite to the meat because the meat will be fresher than your arm. So I did that, duct taped some raw meat on my arm that I bought at the butcher down the street. Woke up the next morning hoping that the worms would be gone, and they were not gone. They were still there. All I had was a rancid, stinky piece of meat on my arm. 2 months later, these things are still in my arm. I'm like, all right, guys, time to come out maybe, you know? And I started squeezing really hard, and I got a good grip on it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna come out, sweet, sweet. I'm in a park bench, like in this big Mexican park, and there's like a lot of people looking at me. They're like, why is that guy squeezing at his arm so hard? And I'm squeezing, and all of a sudden, boom!
Oh, yay, with my lightning!
Had like maggot crap all over my face, and everybody at the park was like, oh, what just came out of that American guy's arm? That's the crazy gringo. And so that's how I got rid of one of them. And then another month later, I was in El Paso, had just crossed the border, and same kind of thing. I was out in my bed, I was in a hotel, and I was squeezing, and imagine like the nastiest zit you've ever popped. It was like this times 50. I'm squeezing, and then this thing shot out onto the headboard of the bed, and it looked like I had taken a strawberry and smashed it with a hammer. That's what came out of my arm. It was gross. Sorry, did I gross you guys out? Didn't mean to, but yeah, you wanted a crazy travel story, you got one. My name is Ryan Van Duzer. I love the world, I love traveling, I love adventures, and I'm ready for more. Let's do it! Oh, and remind me to tell you about the time I was on a Honduran game show. Yeah, gringo on a Honduran primetime game show. Dance contest. I won the whole thing. It was amazing. And I got to dance with these super hot models. It was one of the most crazy moments of my life. And after that, I was a Honduran superstar. Yeah!